suspension of the left front wheel of the GP car did contact that side pod.
Dave Stubbs concentrating on the monitor, team manager there for Team Netherlands. This team, which is a run, of course, Seat holder is Jan Lammers, a man who's raced in Formula 1, who's raced in sports cars, success at all levels, and he's had to wait a long time to see that Dutch entry take a victory. But you have to say, fingers crossed, with 3 laps to go, that Jeroen Bleekemolen has got this one totally under control.
Well, you say that, but actually, over the last few laps, the gap has actually decreased, because fastest lap in the race has gone to Portugal, 1:29.072. The gap, 4.3 seconds, it was up to almost 6 seconds at one point prior to the pit stop, but it's still a comfortable situation for the Netherlands. There's no direct pressure coming from this car. He only has to do with 2 laps to go. It's not going to get run down, other than something unforeseen should occur.
Yeah, but Albuquerque pushing hard, as you say, and it's a useful extra point for the fastest lap, so that all helps, doesn't it?
Look at this on board the Portuguese car. What a shot!
The plank cam, where we've got a camera right at the front edge of the plank that sits beneath the chassis of the car. You're looking right through the front wing.
Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that. Look, you can see the amount of vertical movement in the chassis. Now, racing cars are very stiff, but that's what deflection of maybe a maximum of an inch as the cars bump and bind over the racetrack.
Yeah, you really get a view of where the bumps are too, don't you, as we head around the track on the Portuguese car. He's climbing up the hill at the moment and up to that sort of blind brow into the left-hander. Philippe Albuquerque doing a good job here for Team Portugal, and it's going to be very close in terms of points for that battle for second at the moment between Portugal and Switzerland. That's why it was so crucial when Switzerland got sort of held up in the pits. It makes a big difference because they're so close together, battling over second place in the championship.
Well, Portugal, Switzerland and Ireland have been really the class of the field in this 4th series, but we've got the interlopers of the Netherlands leading the race, but also Monaco coming into the mix, and that was something I don't think anybody had anticipated.
No, that's right. Monaco, remember, running in 4th position still in this race, and starting from pole position later on in the feature race, and showing good competitive times. A lot of support for the Portugal car there, lovely to see up in the grandstand. The Portuguese flags are waving proudly, and this is what A1GP is all about. Wherever we go in the world, there are always people from all of the nations here to support their car, their colours and their driver, and in this case Philippe Albuquerque responding to that. The gap stayed about the same that last time around, John.
He's on power boost, he's got his last shot of power boost. It's not going to make any difference, but he's trying. At least something you're seeing from a driver. He's got it there to use, he's using it, and it's 4.3 seconds as they came across start finish line. It's all over in effect with the Netherlands en route to a victory, the first victory since China in Beijing in the 2nd series.
45 races ago it was, that victory of Jeroen Bleekemolen on the street circuit in Beijing, and he's driven superbly for this team, and now it looks as though it's going to come good. He was on pole position at his home race at Zandvoort earlier on in this season. It just didn't come together for him in the 2 races, but it was a breathtaking start that he made. He got it off the line to perfection. He's only got a little bit of a lap to do.
Yes, and I think if we find out in the post-race interviews, I guarantee you he started this race on a brand new set of tyres, taking full advantage of his pole position and going out and making that win come to the team.
He's down to the final corner. Jeroen Bleekemolen, a champion in the Porsche Super Cup Series. He's going to come through and take the Dutch first win in 45 races. Well done to Team Netherlands, to Jan Lammers, to Dave Stubbs, to Simon Kayser, the engineer. They've got the victory they've been looking for. Second goes to Portugal. 3rd place goes to Neil Yarni and Team Switzerland. But what's happening behind that? Ireland. Ireland have taken 4th from Monaco, so there's been a change on the final lap. I don't quite know what's happened there. Ireland have claimed 4th. India come home in 6th, and then coming home in 7th place it is South Africa, ahead of New Zealand rather. New Zealand picking up the 8th place, but John, I'm not sure quite what happened there.
No, it was a very solid, safe 4th place for Monaco. Suddenly they come through in 5th place, and Ireland have picked up that 4th place. A very delighted 4th place it will be for Team Ireland.
But celebrating already Team Netherlands, superb victory by Jeroen Bleekemolen. He stormed away from the start, made everybody else look second-rate on the first lap, but that's simply because he had clear air, a great car, and he got on with it.
Oh yes, and he came here, remember, just before Christmas, competed in a race, so he's got knowledge of this racetrack. This is the most changeable racetrack we're going to go to throughout 4th series of A1GP.
Solid 2nd place for Philippe Albuquerque. He keeps scoring those podium finishes, and that's another superb effort, and that's the way to feature in a championship they and Switzerland are going to be pretty close together on points, and of course took advantage of the fact that the Swiss car had that problem in the pit stop trying to get past Malaysia. There's Adrian Zhao into the points there, 7th place finish, so picks up a couple of points. There is a question mark though. He was under investigation. I gather that was for possibly speeding in the pit lane, so we'll have to see what comes out there. But there is the man who's going to celebrate the most.
Well, he'd be absolutely delighted. He's done for the Netherlands something that hasn't happened for the past 2 seasons. So he's got that victory once again, and it's a very happy. Look at the jubilation from your own Blake Mullen. You think it won a, well, Le Mans 24 hours.
Well, it's been a long time since they've had a victory, these guys, so fully deserved. There's Philippe Albuquerque, very satisfied, I should think, with that 2nd position, particularly having lost it at the start of the race. To reclaim it at the pit stops, a big bonus.
Yeah, there's going to be a few ifs, ands or buts after this race. Certainly Switzerland, they could argue, well, we should have had that 2nd place. We did get impeded on the exit of the pit lane. But that's going to be an issue which the teams are going to have to deal with twice when it comes to the feature race later on.
So Neil Yarni, he knows that he scored a little bit more than Team Ireland there, but not as much as it looked as though it was going to be because of that change on the final lap. Some little hiccup, presumably from Monaco, and Ireland were able to take advantage. So Adam Carroll finishing only 1 place behind his great rival Neil Yarni.
Yes, and ultimately I think that leads the gap Ireland had over Portugal and Switzerland is down to 12 points. It could have been more than that, so they'll breathe a sigh of relief and look to try and do something a little bit better. Starting in the 6th position, 3rd row of the grid for the feature race, and they've still got Switzerland ahead of them. Fortunately for them, Portugal's 1 place behind.
Yeah, it's all going to be close indeed. Here we go then, onto the podium. Oh, double punch to the air. Your own Blake Mullen. He's been waiting for this moment for some time, but just as Jos Verstappen managed at Durban in season 1, it's a victory for the Netherlands in South Africa. A great 2nd place there for Philippe Albuquerque. And Neil Yarni, another solid performance from the reigning title holders, A1 Team Switzerland. And although he hoped that there would be more, I think that's still an important point. So the medals to be handed out, and the bronze medal therefore going to Neil Yarni, and he'll be thinking of ways that he can try and improve upon that, I'm sure, when it comes to the feature race. Silver to be handed out to Philippe Albuquerque, and that's Stephen Watson, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Gauteng Motorsport, and a man who used to race very successfully himself, of course, but now very involved in putting this whole project together. And the Gauteng province hugely behind this event here at Kyalami this year, that's bringing A1GP here. And well, hopefully they'll have enjoyed that 1st race. All the fans certainly enjoying themselves. I'm looking forward to the 2nd race of the day as well. Gold medal it is for your own Blake Mullen, and we're going to be able to catch up with him in a minute. Let's hear the anthem. So celebrations there. Dutch fans in the grandstand. Diana's over there. She's going to talk to the top 3.
Jerome, congratulations. How does it feel to take that win in the sprint race?
Yeah, really good. I mean, it just went all amazing. But it was a very hard race for me because in the beginning I could feel that there was some kind of problem with the fuel pickup. So it didn't cost me any time, but I could just feel it coming. And then in the 2nd stint after the pit stop, the car just stopped. And then I thought, okay, the race is over. And it started working again. So I lost about 1.5, 2 seconds. But luckily, you know, they put it was still together in the end, and we could win it.
Many congratulations. Philippe, obviously he pulled away with quite a gap there, so you were never really going to catch him.
Yeah, in the beginning I was really impressed with his speed, like no way I can get it, but we were really good at the pit stops. The team did a very good job. I managed to pass Switzerland, but I found a huge difference between tyres because still I did the fastest lap time, just because the tyres. So I don't know which tyres he had. So we will work on the car for the old tyres. But still, I'm really happy with the fastest lap in 2nd place.
Many congratulations. Neil Yarni taking 3rd today, obviously kept your position and collected those points.
Yeah, I had a fantastic start, got me 2nd, and then unfortunately we had some problems on the pit stop. First of all, pit stop wasn't that quick, and then I couldn't get out because Malaysia was parked in front of me. And well, we have to be happy to beat P3 still then after all this mess in the pit. So yeah, it's points, and let's see what happens in the next race.
confirmation of the result then. Jeroen Bleekemolen taking the win for the Netherlands. Portugal in second and Switzerland third. Adam Carroll of Ireland just ahead of Monaco. Then India, South Africa and New Zealand. Malaysia, France, Italy, Australia and China.